Hi, we're Team 28 from Cohort 3, and we're proposing that Patagonia expands into Switzerland. We will begin our global expansion proposal by providing a brief overview of Patagonia, followed by the socio-cultural differences between Switzerland and the US. We then broke down their current organizational structures and proposed changes to both the new structure and HRM strategy. Finally, we concluded with the impacts of the expansion strategy and how we plan to manage organizational growth and the differentiating cultural norms surrounding worker motivation and the impact this has.
Patagonia is a clothing company that started as a niche rock climbing tool manufacturer who have now expanded their market share to producing high-end, ethically responsible outdoor clothing. Currently, they operate in 16 countries and are headquartered in California, USA. As an activist company, their mission is to focus on saving our home planet. The company donates 1% of their sales to grassroots organizations in Canada, USA, and other locations around the world. They focus on spreading awareness of the rising effects of global warming, which include loss of biodiversity and lack of freshwater sources. By building the best products, using their business to protect nature, and committing to products that are functional and repairable, Patagonia will continue to grow and innovate around the world. The country we have chosen to expand Patagonia into is Switzerland. We have chosen this country after determining that their company mission and values fit well with that of Switzerland's culture. Their physical geography and beautiful landscape has helped build a large culture around being outdoors and around nature due to its situation between the Jura Mountains and the Alps range. Throughout this presentation, we'll further dive into why we think Switzerland is the best choice for Patagonia's expansion by comparing it to the culture of the United States. First, we evaluated the socio-cultural differentiation between the US and Switzerland by looking at the GLOBE project framework. This measures the ability to influence, motivate, and enable others to impact the company's success. The US and Switzerland scored similarly in these 9 dimensions, with an average variance of 0.27. The greatest differences occurred in assertiveness and future orientation, with the US being more assertive and more future-oriented. This means when expanding, Patagonia must keep in mind what type of employees they are hiring to work at their new base. Currently, Patagonia uses a flat organizational structure, which is more of a network rather than a stacked pyramid structure. This has many benefits as the level of communication between employees is increased. The company puts a strong emphasis on communication as there is little recognition of formal reporting. This allows for what Dean Carter, the Vice President of Human Resources, calls real work as people are having a direct input. At Patagonia, the manager's role is seen as a mentor and a resource to be utilized by the team, as they are viewed as coaches who give structure and direction to ensure the work aligns with the company's strategic goals. Even with this flat structure, Patagonia still does have a formal organizational structure that begins with the CEO, vice presidents, and directors.
To have the best chance for success, Patagonia needs to keep its current organizational structure when expanding into Switzerland. We believe the company needs to keep their current organizational structure for several reasons. The first one is Switzerland and the US are very similar in terms of the GLOBE project framework. The second one is Patagonia seeks out individuals who speak their minds and are willing to take increased responsibility in strategy and operations. The Swiss people generally have an ability to adapt to changing conditions, something leaders need to have. Also, the company will be gaining employees who will likely find new ways for the company to decrease the harm it creates through productions by increasing efficiency. The third one is Switzerland is the world's greenest country according to the Environment Performance Index. This means that the company's core values are already aligned in the country they will be expanding into, and it also means that they will already have a base of potential customers and employees.
The best way to describe Patagonia is as a cause disguised as a company. The company's culture is the main differentiator when comparing it to other companies like Sears, Fossil, and Pier 1, who are also known to have strong cultures. With the purpose and passion so intense, the company has a responsibility to ensure its programs and policies align with its culture. Patagonia's recruitment and selection process is different compared to many other companies. They make their potential candidates go through rigorous interviewing processes to make sure that they are the ideal fit and that their values align directly with the company's. This means that it is not unheard of to have positions open for more than a year if they don't find this seamless fit. By expanding to Switzerland, the company will almost instantaneously gain a competitive advantage in recruitment and selection of potential candidates, as the country's values align closely to Patagonia's. For Patagonia's training and development, they have quite a substantial process. They use a program called Linda Enterprise that all employees have access to 24/7 to help workers learn basic software and business skills. For compensation and wages, Patagonia uses base pay and bonuses to allow people to be rewarded for risk-taking and exceeding expectations. Beyond wages, there are several ways the company deals with compensation. It has a program that changes the 40-hour work week. Instead of working 8-hour days Monday to Friday, employees have the option to work 9-hour days Monday through Thursday and do not have to work every second Friday. This gives employees 26 3-day weekends per year, something useful for people who love adventuring. For performance evaluations, instead of having annual evaluations, they've adopted quarterly feedback check-in sessions between managers and employees where questions would focus on what the employee wanted to accomplish in that quarter. They have accomplished their goals, reflect on what they have learned along the way, and if they would set these goals differently in the future. Patagonia has already separated base pay and wages and performance evaluations and their subsequent bonuses. It has shown a tremendous positive impact in its current HR model, and we see no reason to shift this current structure.
Patagonia is a company with a flat organization. If it implements a Swiss expansion strategy, we recommend Patagonia add an international function department to meet new challenges that arise. These departments should be experts in local preferences and tastes and have a complete understanding of local market conditions, being able to integrate local sales methods and successfully establish a positive brand image. Secondly, the company will need to reintegrate resources within the company because of its new consumer market. Therefore, we recommend Patagonia also make changes to its organizational structure to focus more heavily on their marketing department to focus on building a strong brand image in Switzerland. This will initially require a greater flow of resources into these departments until we successfully establish ourselves as a trusted brand where we will begin to stabilize and shift our focus onto production and service sectors. For the management organization development, we must first maintain the existing flat organizational structure, but also can adopt a mixed organizational structure. Second, because of the gradual complication of organizational structure, it is necessary to prevent centralization. Finally, for the newly created international department, companies should divide the group by region, which can make the work in each region more targeted.
Swiss people are highly motivated by job autonomy and job security, and these are the top two drivers of attraction, and high base pay, salary, and opportunity to advance their careers drives retention. This means building a strong corporate framework that provides job autonomy and room for growth is extremely important to hire and retain employees. This will require a strong performance appraisal system that recognizes and rewards top employees for their contribution. Patagonia currently practices separating base pay from bonuses, which they should continue to do to incentivize employees to work harder and move up within the company to bring out their harder work. Switzerland also has a relatively lower unionization rate compared to other European countries, but falls between the US and Canada at 21%, which should be taken into account when we expand out of the US by being aware of these higher rates. As mentioned earlier, higher wages and job security are top drivers for Swiss workers, so this will have an impact on total costs and employee retention when adapting to these new cultural preferences and norms. Patagonia backs up their mission statement of "We're in business to save our home planet" by pledging to donate its entire Trump tax cut of $10 million to environmental charities. Because they don't just talk the talk, but also walk the walk to back it up. This should come as no shock then when we propose to expand our social enterprise into the world's most environmentally friendly country in hopes of tackling pressing environmental issues while providing sustainably responsible outdoor clothing simultaneously. This opportunity will require implementing our soft SHRM model to provide employees the training, coaching, resources, and the support they need to grow within the company and progress their careers from within, as this is something Swiss people value greatly. By providing them with the autonomy to move within the company through our flat or lattice-like structure, we believe we'll be able to hire the strongest and loyal employees possible while attracting a strong customer base in this new market. The potential is endless, and in our fight against negative environmental trends, we believe that there is no better place to expand our business to other than Switzerland.